going on, guys? Tuesday, Super Tuesday, incredible slate. So many good games today. Coming off a winning day Monday, 2-1. Houston deciding to foul Iowa State repeatedly, up 10 with like 30 seconds to play. And then on the flip side, Iowa State, instead of chucking up a three, you just drive to the hoop, get a quick score, and then you don't foul with almost half a minute left, down 8. Fuck, man. Houston minus 8.5 doesn't get there. We even put out specifically in the post, wait for that 9.5 to come down. I like the 8.5 much better. You never know when it's going to be tight like that. And boy, was it tight. Half point short from being a 3-0 day. But hey, 2-1, we'll take it. We'll move on. That improves us in terms of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday games over the last 2 weeks. 16-4 now over the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stretch, absolutely crushing these early weekdays. Man, this is just, the weekends have a weird voodoo to it. It's like this weird feel, weird stuff is happening on weekends. It seems like it seems too predictable. So being almost too sharp on the weekends is kind of being odd lately, but 16-4 over the last 2 weeks, actually a little bit over than 2 weeks now, because this is now dipping into the third week in terms of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday set. But 16-4 is 80%, guys. If you want to become a member today, highly recommend it. Tuesday is a monster slate. I've already posted a ton on the community tab right here on YouTube. Become a member. You'll probably pay for your subscription tonight on Tuesday. There's a lot of plays out there. Virginia Tech cashed, Kansas State cashed. And you know what? We even put Virginia Tech and Houston in some money line parlays that'll hopefully finish up tomorrow, one of which is almost plus 800. Hopefully you can gain 8 units out of that one play alone. Virginia Tech was the lowest odds out of that entire parlay. So as long as some home teams tomorrow take care of business, might have a pretty big Tuesday, might have a record Tuesday. So I recommend you guys get on board. Hit Virginia Tech. Gave out Virginia Tech as our official free pick on yesterday's video. So I hope everybody got on that. A couple of you guys messaged me saying it moved to 3.5. Do you still like it? Hopefully you guys still moved on the 3.5. It was just a crazy blowout game. So we will go ahead and update the whiteboard at the end of today's video with another official free pick. So stay tuned until the end of today's video. Just double check. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and drop a like on today's video. I'd appreciate that one, guys. And as always, I want to know what you guys are betting as well. What are your favorite plays? What do you like today? Let everybody know in the comments. Got a lot of games to go through. You know what? Another 2-1 winning day here. That brings us to 11 winning days out of the last 16. I don't know what that percentage is, but 11 winning days out of 16. I'll take that on college basketball a day. And on Thursday, the NBA returns. Can't wait for that. All-star break out of the way. We can get into some competitive NBA. The closer we get to playoffs, the more defense actually becomes a thing, and you can start doing pretty well in NBA. So the NBA plays will start mixing in as well, and keeping an eye on college baseball, MLB news, a lot of stuff, guys. Spring is actually... We all talk about fall and football, but spring's a pretty good time. This is an awesome time of year. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of opportunities to make money. And if you guys are new to the game or looking to make a little extra money, consider becoming a member. Let's get into Tuesday's games because there's a lot of them. I can sit here and yap and blah, blah, blah. I do want to recap just a couple here from Monday's slate before we do hop into Tuesday's games. So the Iowa State-Houston game, let's talk about it for just a brief second. Just to give you what I thought about watching the game. I'm really concerned for Houston. Okay, it's not 1990. Okay, it's not 1980. You have to have fucking offense. They're not going to have a whistle that friendly. They were bodying Iowa State. There were some possessions, especially in that first half, where I'm like, how are whistles not being blown here? March Madness, I don't know where they're going to be playing, but if the refs decide to call the game a little bit tight, Houston has like no offense. Now, I know Iowa State's defense is underrated and very, very good. And the Big 12 in general is very, very good. Houston's offense is trash. I'm just going to say it. Elite defense, good rebounding, good overall toughness, good depth to the roster. That offense is shit. How do you win a basketball game? You score more points than the other team. Houston's going to be in trouble. I don't see Houston getting out of the Sweet 16. I really don't. Unless the refs are going to allow them to play that bully style of basketball and just work their way to 65, 55 wins all the time. If the whistle is being blown, Houston is going to be leaving the tournament pretty quick. So I wanted to go over that. Texas, man. Texas didn't impress me. We cashed on Kansas State, but shouldn't have. Kansas State was undisciplined, sloppy. I mean, the Kansas State looks really bad. Jerome Tang, he is really benefiting off of Noel's performance in the tournament last year to kind of put his name and put Kansas State basketball a little bit more on the map. Not a good team, not a good coach. And for Texas to borderline have thrown that game away at the end is definitely concerning. Is there anything else I want to go over? Probably not. Maybe I'll even just start doing a separate video every day. I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments. Do you want me to do a recap video that uploads daily as well, where I go over every game or at least 80% of the games, the important ones from the day prior? Because I can certainly start doing that. It would take some more time out of my day. But if that's something you guys are interested in, I'm open to it. Let's get into Tuesday. Tuesday's just, I mean, is this the best Tuesday yet? This might be the best Tuesday yet. Butler, Villanova, first game. So this is how I'm looking at this game. Butler, as good as Hinkle is, borderline Butler might be playing better on the road than home this year. Villanova is more desperate. Villanova for sure is being left out of the tournament as of today. Butler probably in, but barely in. I think under current bracketology. Let me look it up. Let me double check. I think they're in the last 4 buys right now. Let me triple check. Sorry, guys. I should have had this on my phone already. It's 1 a.m. Eastern time. Cut me a break, guys. Cut me some slack. Current bracketology. Come on. What do we got here? They in the first 4 buys? Last 4 in? What do we got? Updated on the 16th. So not terribly up to speed yet. They're in the last 4 buys. So Butler is firmly in the tournament as of now. But what would a road loss to Villanova do? Does that put them in no man's land? Butler doesn't want to lose this game, but I've been watching Butler for quite a few weeks now. I've watched them closely ever since that. Well, I watch every single goddamn basketball game on planet Earth, but I've watched them even closer ever since that Friday night away game where they beat Creighton. Butler, hang tough in the game. Couple minutes left, fucking fall apart. I don't trust Butler to get a win, but 6.5 points, I got to look at Butler. I don't think Villanova is going to blow them out. I think this is going to be a close game. I do not see Butler winning this game. Villanova is going to get the job done here and win the game. But 6.5, I'm taking the points with Butler on the spread. That's too many. This is going to be like a 1-possession game. And then the final couple minutes, Nova with the better free throws, the more disciplined team, the home court advantage. Nova will escape with the W. But I don't think it's going to be by 7 or more points. That seems a little crazy with Butler here. So give me the points in Butler. Kent State, Ohio. Ohio's a big public play at home, -2.5. It'll be more than 2.5 tomorrow. I'm not betting that. I'm not even going to give an opinion. I don't like it. Arkansas, Texas A&M. So this line was 9.5, it's 10.5. It's been bouncing around. It's currently 10.5 on FanDuel. I'm looking at it. 10.5, man. Do we trust Texas A&M? The thing is, it's like if a certain Texas A&M team shows up, they're easily covering 10.5. They could make this game come down to the wire. So what do we get? It's just not smart to bet on a team like A&M right now. It's just, what are you going to get? Is Taylor going to go off? If he doesn't go off, I don't know here. Extremely hard to believe they lose the game outright. And they could easily win this game by 20. I just have no idea. I think the spread is strong enough. The odds makers certainly are leaning that A&M's going to show up here. Super desperate team. Have to have this as a win. They probably show up. I'm gonna lean Texas A&M -10.5. but it's probably going to be Houston on repeat. Fucking half-point backdoor cover for Arkansas or something like that. Tennessee, Missouri. The whole entire world's on Tennessee. I have no interest in laying 12.5 on the road against a Missouri team that basically is yet to beat anyone in the conference. My gut feeling says it's too many points. My gut feeling says 12.5 is too many. Will I bet against this Tennessee team in this spot? No. Am I going to put my hard-earned money on a team like Missouri? No. This is a clear pass. I think Tennessee is totally content with a 7, 8, 9-point win. I don't think they care about winning by 15, 20 points. So not really much interest there. Boston College, Florida State. Florida State vastly underachieved. Like for the ACC, that's a pretty good roster. There's some pretty good players on Florida State. Wildly underachieving. Boston College been better as of late, but they're on the road. I'm going to lean Florida State here. I think people are going to probably take the points at BC. I'm going to lean Florida State, but it's disgusting. There is no way that I or you should be putting your money on Florida State. Like, there's way too many games tomorrow. Gun to my head, someone walks up to me and says, "You're going to die unless you predict this game right." I'll take Florida State at home -4.5, but gross. Iowa, Michigan State. This one's super interesting. Tom Izzo in February, you don't want to go against. Iowa off the overtime win over Wisconsin. Iowa's trash. Straight up. Iowa's not a good team. Much better at home. Michigan State going to get the win. Spread of 9.5. Can Iowa hit enough shots? But Michigan State, man, they've been handling people pretty good. That Illinois game, they've been doing pretty good at home. I think they really are starting to build a resume here. Izzo seems to have this team rocking and rolling. They want to get as high of a seed as they can. You don't want to be in that 12-5 matchup. I think they're currently projected to be a 5 seed. 12 versus 5 is the devil. Every single year, it seems like 3 out of the 4 5 seeds lose to the 12s. That's like the number one upset threshold, is the 5s being beaten by the 12s. So Michigan State, man, if they can move up to a 4, I think they're going to try to do it here and really finish the year strong. I don't want to go against Sparty at home. 9.5 seems like a huge price. Money's about split. Slight lean to the home team. Do they have enough heart and composure to not give this game away at the buzzer? I mean, let's say they're up 15 points. There's 5 minutes left. They know the game's in the bag. Did they kind of slip up and let a couple threes from Iowa go in just to blow the cover here? Maybe. UCF, West Virginia. Public all over UCF in this spot. UCF, absolutely the better team. I'm a Mountaineer. I graduated. I went there. I love West Virginia. They suck. It's a horrible roster, a horrible team. They're frustrated, but if they're even going to get 2 more wins this season, this has to be one of them. If they're even going to get to 10, that they have to beat UCF in this game. Spread's 2.5. People are betting the shit out of UCF. Give me the Mountaineers at home on the money line. This is an upset. I think West Virginia gets the job done here. UCF had them against Cincy on Saturday in a revenge spot, in a desperation spot. UCF is a team currently playing themselves out of the tournament. I'm not trusting them here on the road in Morgantown. Give me West Virginia on a Tuesday night. UConn at Creighton. Here's another one. 90% of money right now is on UConn. UConn -2.5. Easy money, right? I mean, seriously, I'm asking you. I'm looking at you. I'm asking you. We have an amazing UConn team, an invincible UConn team. They're for sure going to go back-to-back. Klingon, Hurley, they're rocking and rolling. They beat the piss out of Marquette. Creighton lost at home over Butler. They lost on a Friday night at home to Butler. And now we only have to lay 2.5 with UConn. Shouldn't we just put our whole entire life savings on UConn here? Nope, this is an upset. Give me Creighton. Creighton's gonna win this game outright. For betting purposes, though, take that 2.5. 2.5. It's a great number right now, and it's at -106. So, a great payout. If you risk $100, you almost double it. It's not like it's juiced or something like minus 120. Grab that bucket. You never know. Buzzer beater. You don't want to get screwed on something like that. Same with West Virginia. Grab the 2.5. Don't be greedy. Grab the 2.5 with both of these home teams, but both of these home teams are going to get the job done. The threes are going to be landing for Creighton. Kalkbrenner he's going to get owned by Klingon, but he's going to at least be somewhat of a decent piece to put against him. Give me Creighton here at home. End of story. San Diego State at Utah State. Boy, San Diego State, we all had the recency bias from the tournament. They're a great team. I bet on them in their last game, maybe their last 2 games. I think I was on San Diego State. Love them at home. Don't love them on the road. Give me Utah State. Screw that spread. 2.5 and what should be an absolute fight. I am not interested in the spread. The money line is currently minus 142. Give me Utah State on the money line here. Wisconsin, Maryland. Or I should say Maryland, Wisconsin. So it's in Wisconsin where they're better. Wisconsin off an overtime loss versus Iowa. Maryland off another crushing loss. I like Maryland here. I think Maryland can hang in this game. To me, this is a 4 or a 5-point win for Wisconsin. It's always scary that it's at that margin at the end of the game and Maryland tries to do whatever they can at the end and they start fouling them to try to get back in the game. They miss their shots. Wisconsin makes their free throws and it goes from like 4 or 5 up to like 6 or 7 or 8 in this case. And it gets a cover for Wisconsin. I'm not going to buy it. This wouldn't shock me to even be an upset. Like, I'm dead serious. Maryland on the money line at plus 250 is definitely interesting. It's a good roster. It's an underachieving team. They're currently way outside of the tournament. They got to like win out if they want to get in. Give me the points with Maryland. Pitt, Wake Forest. This is similar to the Butler and Villanova game. Do we trust Wake Forest to beat decent to good teams by margin? They're better at home. We've seen them, they're coming off that tough Virginia game. Pitt's defense is not Virginia. I expect Wake Forest offense to be better here. But 6.5 against a pretty good Pitt team, it just seems a little, just a hair steep. The only thing that's concerning, Pittsburgh getting 6.5 is a large public underdog. So wait on this one. If the money on Pitt can get this line down to 5, I would feel better about Wake Forest. I'm not taking Pitt here. Pitt already has some good wins that they probably shouldn't have had. I don't want to take them again. I lean Wake Forest, but 6.5, it's in the danger zone. Baylor, number 11 Baylor going to BYU. BYU just got smacked by the worst team in the Big 12. Oklahoma State, it wasn't even close. I don't know what the 3-point shooting percentage was, but I remember the first half. They gave up 57, and I'm not even looking at this. I just remember this because I watch so much basketball. It's crazy. Oklahoma State shot 57. I think it was 57 or 58% from 3 in the first half. BYU was like 2 for 12. We've all seen what BYU has done in these home games on their home court where they're up 15, up 12, and they completely collapse at the end of the game and barely win. Well, with the spread of 3.5, we don't have to really worry about margin here. Everyone's going to be on Baylor. Let me check the splits. 80% of bets placed so far are on Baylor. Give me BYU at home. Yes, BYU, a team that just lost to Oklahoma State. Baylor, a team that just went on the road to Morgantown, beat West Virginia easily. Well, guess what? Baylor stayed in Morgantown that night. Now they go out to Provo. You go to Morgantown, you stay over, you're in West Virginia. You feel like you're in fucking bumfuck. Then you go out here to play BYU, who just got smacked by the worst team in the conference. BYU. Maybe look at the money line. Look, it's going to be a very small profit. The money line right now is minus 176. So, I mean, I'll tell you right now. Let's say you put 100 on it. You put 100 on BYU money line. It's only a $56, $57 profit. but a win is a win. Do you want to mess with that 3.5? I like BYU to win this game. Consider the money line. I also like them minus the 3.5. I do. But the 3.5 right now is minus 120. Minus 120, minus 176. Sure, you throw a little bit of winnings out the door, but have them to win by 4 or just win the game. That's a huge difference for not like the huge difference in payout. TCU, Texas Tech, 5.5 point spread. Super accurate number, in my opinion. I think it's going to be right there. I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with Texas Tech in this spot. This just feels like a sharp line. It just looks right to me. This wasn't one where I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm going to bet that. I like that." Like, no, I'm like, Texas Tech 5.5 at home, TCU, they'll hang around. It's going to be right there. So it's just better games to bet on, in my opinion. This is a sharp line. I think Texas Tech is going to get the job done. I think they win by 6 or 7, but man, 1 or 2 buckets, 1 or 2 misses, 1 or 2 free throws, a couple things I think at the end of this game will determine a win or a loss on the spread. I like Texas Tech though. At 5.5, still give me the Red Raiders. San Jose State, Boise State, no opinion. San Fran at St. Mary's. This one's interesting too, because St. Mary's is a big public play. They're laying 6.5. I remember the San Fran game. San Fran was at Gonzaga. I think St. Mary's is better than Gonzaga. 6.5. St. Mary's, though, they're not really like used to the position they're in. Sort of a sketchy line. I'm going to lean a slight lean to San Fran, catching 6.5 here. Are they going to win the game outright? That would definitely surprise me. But at 6.5, maybe if the line moves to 7.5 tomorrow, because all the money's on the home team, I'd feel definitely better. I mean, definitely wait on this one. For sure, wait. If you're going to be betting opposite of the public, wait. Like we waited, me and my members on Monday, yesterday, we waited on Houston. I put it in the post. I said, it's 9.5. I do like Houston. I said, I can't remember exactly what I said. I'll put it on the screen. I was like, we're going to wait. If we can get an 8.5 or an 8, well, 8 would have been great. We would have pushed and got our money back and just had a 2-0 day. But if you're betting opposite of the public, wait for these lines to move. If you're on a public side and you think that line's going to move, you think the money's going to come in heavy, you think you're probably in alignment with the public opinion, grab what you like early. I mean, this is key. We've seen it time and time again. Houston and Iowa State was a tremendous example tonight of how line movement just by a little bit can alter your wins and losses. Wyoming and Nevada. God, what do you do? I mean, the trends of Wyoming versus Nevada are actually pretty overwhelming. Like crazy. Like they have their number. 14.5. Nevada is so much better at home. I'm not laying 14.5. Give me the points with Wyoming to finish out the Tuesday slate. So there's some good games in there, guys. Some great games. I would definitely call that a super Tuesday. It looks really good. Really excited to bet. I already have so many bets out. Let me tell you real quick. Let me pull them up. Let me just tell you guys all the bets for tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I just want to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't know. I think I got 7 posted already for tomorrow. A couple parlays, including Virginia Tech and Houston that will carry on into, well, not tomorrow, today. I keep saying tomorrow because it's 1 a.m, so it still feels like nighttime. But guys, it is time to put an official free pick on the whiteboard. And you know what? Virginia Tech did end up being a members play, but more often than not, like 99% of the time, these free picks on the whiteboard will not be members plays. Monday, it was a smaller slate. I want to get you guys winners doing this. I always appreciate you guys watching, hitting the like button, sharing my videos, subscribing, all that good stuff. So I do want to continue to get you some winners here. By the way, follow me on TikTok. Had a winner with Alcorn State over on TikTok. Gave away a free play over there. I'm always on TikTok almost daily. So definitely follow me on that platform. Scroll through these games. What do I want to give out here? Alrighty, guys. The official free pick for Super Tuesday. We're going to rock with Texas Tech. I like the line movement going 4.5 to 5.5. I like the sharp money coming in. I do think it'll get to 6.5. I think it will go up another full point throughout the day here on Tuesday. I like them at home. I like them. I like their players. Desperate spot. TCU, they were fortunate to get a win over Kansas State. But that Kansas game for Kansas State was like their Super Bowl. That was the peak of Kansas State this year. That's a horrible team. And for TCU to go on the road and barely get a win against Kansas State, now we get a much better Texas Tech team, a Texas Tech environment that's always incredible at home. 5.5, I think, is more than reasonable. We're going to rock with the Red Raiders for Tuesday. Alrighty, guys. So there we go. Super Tuesday. Appreciate you guys watching as always. Make sure you hit that like button if you didn't already. Drop me some comments, and I'll see you in the next video.